ACB ALB Seki Ng to evaluate Jerry.
I've always been impressed by dancers because dancers have a way of portraying their self-image without having to say anything. The moment they move on the dance floor, it speaks about their personality. For that, Jerry, I respect you very much as a dancer.
I'm not a speaker, right?
I have
He's coming there.
taken... Don't waste my time! I have taken dance lessons before, and I've always been peeved by my instructor because he will always come up to me and say, Seki, you've got to let the music move you. And I always look at him and say, the music is moving me. It moves me ugly. There are people who are born to dance, and there are people who probably should just sit in the audience and clap their hands. I am probably one of those who needs to clap their hands. But there's one thing I learned from my instructor previously, and that is he said that in dance, the female is always the painting, and the male is always the frame. Likewise in the speech, your speech, Jerry, is your painting, and you as a speaker, you are the frame which holds the speech up. So fast. Now, how can I suggest for improvement? Your topic is get to the point, which has 4 options. You are to either inform, persuade, entertain, or inspire. My personal feeling is that there was not one that was clear enough for me. Take for example, if you were to inform, you would have said something like, Mambo is a dance that originated from Cuba in the 1930s. And if you were to persuade, you would say, there must be a reason that Mambo from the 1930s originating from Cuba has lasted until today and is making their way to championships year after year. That's persuasion. If you were to entertain, you would have shown the dance, which you obviously did, making me a little bit peeved as well because I could never dance like that.
You can try.
And finally, if you were to inspire, you would say something like me, which would hit me directly in the face and say, would you like to dance like me? You can. That is to inspire. So with that, I find that you did have all 4 purposes. But because it was so spread out, I couldn't realize which one was it. All in all, I still loved your speech because what I truly admire about people who speak out of passion is that they are always sincere and they would always tell what they love best. And truly, we have seen that your love for dancing is one undying one. Back to you, General Iqbal.
Thank you, Seki, for the very inspiring evaluation. I think he is also want to dance before. Well, Jerry, I think that you have done a very great job. The speech stated try to avoid using notes, and he did try the effort not to use notes, and that is what I salute you for your effort. Overall, your speech is very fluent. Your speech is very fluent, and the language you use is also very good, and you share with us the benefits of dancing. And I believe at the end of the day, you actually persuaded some of us to actually look what dancing can benefit us. Next, I shall invite our next evaluator, which is none other than Advanced Communicator Silver, Advanced Leader Bronze, Srinivas.
Thank you. Yeah, you can clap louder. You only did once. Alright, where is my good friend Seki? Why? Yeah, I'm telling you why Seki. Seki talked about dance and I was laughing because he is limping last few days and we had to evaluate Jerry. But I am excited because I'm going to evaluate Ajit, my own club member. For the benefit of guests, there are two kinds of evaluation, I believe. One is sandwich method. You say good stuff, then you talk about things to change, then you close up with good stuff. I am one of the evaluators who doesn't believe in bread. Especially when you're doing CC number 9. Now your project was Persuade with Power. One of the things the manual talks about it, the primary purpose of this speech, persuasive speech, is to influence the thinking or behavior of the audience. Most of them have no clue about polio in real life. They have never experienced. 5 of them never heard about it. And I was wondering, this topic, what could you influence that on? Especially in 2016, where worldwide is only 37 people reported. That's reported, maybe a few hundred more. In 2017, I don't know how many are reported thus far in the last 5 months. So I felt that this particular speech was not the best speech for this particular project, because there was very less to persuade us. Another part is that when we don't persuade, the whole thing comes about, you have to create the problem. You got to see that this audience has a problem. Then you come up with the solution. Then you bang on the solution and say that's how you achieve it, and you persuade them to take an action. They don't have polio. They can't take action. Malaysia has no more has polio. So they don't have much. However, there was one part they could have done. They could have joined Rotary events to support polio or other things related. And I felt that you could have done much better because you are a Rotarian. Do you know that he's a Rotarian?
No.
Because he didn't mention it. You talked about the famous Rotarian, but you talk about the one famous man standing in front of us. You are a Rotarian for many years. And that is the part where we talk about ethos, pathos, logos. That you are the person in this room, I believe the only Rotarian who can talk about this, because you are involved in this polio project. And you are doing a lot of events for this thing for the last few years. So you didn't say why you talked about this topic and why it's very important. I'm not going to talk about the slides which were not run and the things were smooth. It went on and off, the slow and all the stuff. They are technical stuff, we can talk personally. Towards the end, I felt that very less issues to persuade us, not for this audience, this particular topics, and it didn't have much thing for us to take action. The only thing you said was go back and talk about polio. And I'm like, talk what? Not much to talk. So what I would suggest towards the end would be, any speech which is done, audience should be kept in mind and say what will benefit them. And I know I've seen polio because my cousin brother died of polio in India. I've seen him suffering, seen him the same photos you have shown. He was like that and he died. So I know what is polio, not others. So, all the best. Back to you.
Thank you, Srinivas, for the evaluation. A personal tip for all the speakers in future when you want to prepare your speech, just try to read the manuals a few times, especially the speech objectives, in order to choose a topic that can actually meet the speech objectives in that particular project. Next, I shall invite our next evaluator, which is Advanced Communicator Bronze Competent Leader Ricky Su, to present his evaluation.
I'm thankful for Li Hua because although I have not done any speech from this manual, the entertaining speaker, but she has asked me to evaluate a speech. Not first time, but second time. This is the second speech I evaluate. And I'm also thankful to Li Hua because she has taught me a few things. I have learned quite a number of things from the speech. The first thing I learned is a few new words that I had to Google, and I had to ask her how to spell those words. For example, the hopscotch, the game where you hop on the floor, the word I do not know. But when she described the game, I know. I played before, so you know I'm old enough to talk about it. And the second word, the Peter Park, how cool it is, you make fun of it. And the long hair chef, you use a good visual aid to demonstrate it. And also sand angel, which means lying on the sand like a Starbucks. Not Starbucks, starfish, sorry. I just took Starbucks. And the second thing that I've learned from the speech are the humorous elements that she has deliberately implanted into the speech. The first kind is called the wordplay, or there's a technical term for it, pun, P-U-N. How? When she say change and shine, she's making use of the second word of the day, shine. And she also talked about game changer, which is another meaning. Instead of changing the game, she cheated in the game and called herself game changer. And the second kind of humorous element is making fun of yourself. It could be self-deprecating joke, it can be self-elevating joke. For example, when she say, look at me, you can know my mother is pretty too. This is self-advancing joke. And she also talked about, I'm not Cinderella, I'm not Snow White. This is self-deprecating. And the third kind of humorous element is the dramatic, the words. So she talked about climbing on the tree and then fell flat on the ground. The third thing I learned from her speech is how to be humorous. I read the project, I listened to her speech, and I learned that we actually can deliberately plant humorous elements into our speech to make ourselves more humorous. And there are quite a number of types of speech, of elements. And so being humor is not just an art, it can be analyzed. We can learn how to be humorous. And I also learned how to be even better humorous speaker. For example, number one, I think to be humorous, even more humorous speaker, first we may need to slow down our speech. And then when we highlight the humorous element, we either speak louder, speak faster, so that the audience can catch us and be able to laugh. And all of us are Toastmasters, we are very cooperative. We will laugh when we notice it is supposed to be a joke. Then we can pause when we expect people to laugh. We can have eye contact with people when we expect people to laugh. So I guess I've enjoyed and learned much from your speech. You have also brought me back to my childhood memory. And I think you can go on to the project number 4, which is dramatic talk. Thank you. Eva, back to you.
Thank you, Ricky, for the evaluation. Right now, we have 10 minutes of open evaluation. We